This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Thursday morning. And you know, people, you know me, I'm about 2/3 nuts. And I know, I'm running for office. You can't tell people you're nuts if you're running for office. The hell you can. I am half nuts. These politicians have made me that way. Not just the Democrats now. And you guys have heard me. There's some asswipe Republicans. See, I'm true to the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition's motto, their creed. Vote the person, not the party. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to vote for a few Democrats in this election coming up. Going to vote for a few Republicans. If there's some independents, such as myself, I may vote for a few of them. But I will not, people, will not let party politics dictate my vote. And you good people out there shouldn't let party politics dictate your vote. Party politics, Democrat and Republican, they're going to dictate the 5%ers. The 5% that had jobs, the 5% that their family has jobs. And I understand that. People have to work. People have to support their families, feed their families. Number one priority with me, and I'm sure all you good people. But the 5%ers, the organizational Democrats, the organizational Republicans, they're the only ones benefiting from party politics. You don't benefit as a Democrat or a Republican from party politics. They want to tell you, you got to be a Democrat. Kern made some statements, and I'm going to try to get him confirmed. But it was brought to me that it's alleged at this point, but I personally think it's true, that he was in a meeting and he was overheard in a restaurant by some people that don't really know him, don't like him or dislike him. They just knew he was the county board chairman in St. Clair County. This was day before yesterday. Say, we don't give a damn. We're going to win down in East St. Louis because those blacks always vote Democrat. They don't know any better. Now that's Kern, Mark Sweet Cakes, Kern and Kern. If you didn't say it, call me and defend yourself. 1-888-394 toll free. On the east side, 394-1190. Call me, Kern. Just call me and say that I'm a damn liar. Will you do that? You don't have to converse with me. You got to defend yourself, Kern. You can't stay in that ivory tower through this whole election. Roger Cook's coming out after you. Roger Cook, I think, will make one hell of a great St. Clair County board chairman because, see, he's not affiliated so much with the Democrats or the Republicans. He's the co-chairman of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, uniting Democrats, Republican, men, women, black and white, for a more effective, a more efficient, but most of all, a more honest form of government. There's no honesty in government in St. Clair County. You Democrats that are with these ass-white bastards, you know better. You know there's no honesty. You guys don't care. because they're giving you jobs, and I understand that. But why should 5% of the Democrats or 5% of the Republicans dictate to the rest of us, dictate to the 90% of the rank and file, the decent Republicans, the rank and file, the decent Democrats all throughout St. Clair County? I think you're wrong, Kern. I don't think the blacks are going to vote Democratic because they don't know any better. I guess you're insinuating they're not very smart. And I have to say, you may be right. Because if the proud black community was smart, they'd vote against you every chance they got. They remember you back in the day. And I say the blacks, I'm talking about the whites too. Kern has screwed everybody. Kern and Sprague and Barra Civic, they're equal opportunity screwers. Here's Kern, was the mayor for 8 years in Belleville. Been the county board chairman for 12. 20 years in the public eye. And more than that, I guess he was an alderman. But you notice how these son of a bitches play career politics? See, he's playing the game because his daddy and mommy give him more money than he'll ever spend. So he wanted to get involved in politics. No, you get involved in politics not for your ego, Mark Sweet Cakes, Kern, not for your ego, but for the service of the community. And you haven't served the community. You've served self-interest, you and Sprague and Barra Civic and the entire democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County. Then you get on the newspaper. You're going to spend a lot of money against Roger Cook. Roger Cook's not a wealthy man. Roger Cook's a man with a lot of integrity, a lot of honesty. He's a hard-working guy. Kern's never worked a hard day in his life. Well, maybe he has in the bathroom. I don't know, but that's just me personally thinking out loud. Kern's never got his hands dirty. Son of a bitch ain't going to get his hands dirty. He's better than all of us, a multi-millionaire, and he wants to run St. Clair County. Well, him and Sprague, Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants and piss in a urinal. Sprague, you guys have not run the county. You've ruined the county. And everybody knows that. I think 2016 is the perfect storm. You see what happened in St. Louis? This Greitner, this ex-Navy SEAL with no political backing. He beat Catherine Hanaway, who was a Speaker of the House in Missouri, who was a U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Missouri. He beat Peter Kinder, who was a lieutenant governor for the last 2 or 3 terms. Both staunch, hard-working Republicans. He beat this other guy, Browner, whatever the hell his name was, a millionaire businessman. And here's a Navy SEAL, no political experience, gets in the race, and he wins. He wins for governor, the Republican nomination for governor in the great state of Missouri. What does that tell you, people? What does that tell you? That tells you that people are fed up with party politics. And you notice, even the Republicans, Hanaway, this Bruner, I guess that was his name. Hell, I don't know. And Peter Kinder. They're conservative candidates. Constitutional conservative, I think, is the word they used. I didn't see Republican on any ad. You think about it. I don't see Democrat and Republican on most ads, and that's a good thing. You won't see that on the members of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition that are running on the Republican ticket. I can't speak for the rest of the candidates, but I can speak for Bob Romanik, and that's all I speak for is Bob Romanik. See, I don't want anybody taking blame for what I say, because occasionally, not very often, occasionally I say something fairly intelligent, and I don't want them taking credit. I don't want them taking credit for the few things that I say that I believe. Well, I believe's intelligent. Of course, what the hell do I know? Hey, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody yesterday for all the calls, stopping me on the street. They loved the new Sweet Cakes, Kern. Where's the dress? And I kind of love it. And Kern, I want to know, where is the dress? I've had stories back in the day. I've heard stories back in the day from some Belleville policemen that said, I won't mention the guy's name, but he got caught late at night walking down the street of Belleville in a dress. I won't mention any names, Mark. Sweet cakes, Kern, if you know what I mean. And I kind of think you do, you idiot. But he says in the paper that Roger Cook's going to get all Bob Romanik. Roger Cook has not got any free advertisement from this radio station. He comes in, takes the time to come in and be transparent. And that's the trade-off. He gets nothing free. Mark, Sweet Cakes, Kern, you have the same opportunity, and not so much the opportunity, Kern. You have the obligation because you're getting paid for by the taxpayers. Roger Cook's not taking a penny of the taxpayers' money. He's spending his own time and effort to come here and be transparent to all of our listeners all throughout the metro East St. Louis area. You'll go over to KMOX, you rotten bastard, but you won't come here because you're less of a man. I wouldn't take the crap that I give you, Kern. Would have problems. Would have serious problems. But see, that's what men do. But you, on the other hand, you're not much of a man. You're not much of a man, Kern. And I'm asking you, what the hell do you have to say when I say you're not much of a man?
Where's the dress? Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some in my ostrich plumes?
You know,
where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's the dress? You don't think that old boy...
Hey, Kern, you asswipe son of a bitch. That's all you got to say? That's all you got to say, you rotten, stupid, no good for nothing, ass-white bastard. I'm tired, people. And you don't have to like Bob Romanik. You can dislike me. Actually, it's nice having no friends. I send one Christmas card out every year. I save a lot of money, a lot of time. And I receive one Christmas card every year. Mine, because I send one out to myself. But people, you have to understand that party politics is going by the wayside in this great country. Most people, I believe 68%, let's round it off to 70, identify themselves as independents anymore. You'll notice I'm a good Democrat or I'm a good Republican are the people holding office and the people that have jobs through either the Democrats or the Republicans. Hey, I don't want anybody that's got a state or a public funded job. If you don't want to vote for me, fine. I'd rather have the people who are not being supported by our tax dollars. Hell, I'll win 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. You know, people are tired of this politics. They're tired of letting these bastards take control of our lives. I think you're going to see a different election. Trump, now I got to say, I thought I was probably the biggest idiot. I mean, he's a pretty big idiot, but so is Hillary Clinton. So are all of us. But you got to take what you got. Now, Trump, I tell you, he ought to weigh 500 pounds because he puts his foot in his mouth. He ought to start eating that foot. And Hillary Clinton, what a thieving, no good son of a bitch she is. See, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I don't give a damn if you got an R behind your name or a D. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Trump's eating on his foot. Hillary's, I think, eating on something else, and I won't even go there. I will not go there. But don't you good people understand? All you politicians, all the politicians around listen to Bob Romanik. The ones that like me listen and the ones that don't listen, because the ones that don't want to hear what crap I'm giving them. But they don't have the guts. They don't have the guts to call up. They don't have the guts to defend themselves. And I say to you, good people, if a rotten bastard won't defend himself, won't take the time to call me on the air and defend himself, how can they fight for you people? How can they defend you? And that's what you send them to these positions for, to defend you. You send me to Springfield, I'll defend you. I don't give a damn about the Democrats, Republicans. I'd rather have my seat not on the Republican side, not on the Democratic side, not even in the middle of the aisle. I want my seat in the bathroom. I'd be a lot prouder having it in the bathroom. Well, it'd be about the same. I'd be sitting in the crap in the bathroom or sitting in the crap in the House chambers, because they're all a bunch of crap. It's all a bunch of bull. And you'll never, ever, ever. I got Carl Officer coming in and Roger Cook. And see, these guys come in, take their time to come in. They'll be coming in momentarily. They take their time to come in to be transparent. And these guys aren't on the public payroll. You know, I challenge every political leader to call this radio station and defend your position. Defend what you believe's right. Also, be transparent to the good people that you represent. You know, it's a shame that these politicians hide behind whatever. But let me tell you, let them get an award. They're out there on Front Street. But let something be negative and you don't hear from them. No, we want to hear the bad and the good. We want to hear the bad and the good. We've got Mr. Tom Gibbons, the state's attorney in Madison County. Now, I didn't know the gentleman was going to call, but here's a gentleman that's transparent. Here's a gentleman, and I don't always agree with him. I never always agree with my dad. We don't always agree with everybody. That's what's great about this country. But when I give Mr. Gibbons some crap about a situation, you know what he did as a man? He wasn't going to take it. He was a gentleman when he called me, off and on the record. But the gentleman said, hey, Bob, you're wrong. I'm going to defend myself. Now, he's a state's attorney in Madison County, and I salute him. And he's a Democrat. Don't give a damn if he's a Democrat, a Republican, an atheist, or whatever. I don't care. He's a man going to defend what he believes in. He's a man who is paid by the taxpayers of Madison County, and a man who's been transparent and apparently going to continue to be transparent, and I salute him for that. Mr. Tom Gibbons, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Hey, I just, honestly, I didn't know you were going to call, but I talked about transparency, and I want to say it one more time before we get to whatever you have to say. I've talked to so many people, and I get around Madison County a lot, and you're pretty well liked in Madison County, but, you know, after that call, these people really thought, and I guess you are, you didn't have to call up to be a stand-up guy, but people that don't know you, don't know the political leaders, because you can't make contact with everybody through this radio station and other media. People get to know you people. And I tell you, you got a good play, and I appreciate your candidness. But more than that, Mr. Gibbons, I appreciated you being a man and standing up for what you believed in and being able to confront me, because that's what men do. What's in your world going on today, Mr. Gibbons?
Well, I'm calling to thank you about something, Bob. I hear that you have been promoting an event that we have going on this weekend in Granite City called Back the Blue. I know that you're a longtime supporter of law enforcement, and of course, I think you know my wife is a police officer in Granite City.
Yes, sir.
And she and her department, they are having a benefit event this weekend on Saturday at the Granite City Police Department on Madison Avenue from 1 to 3 p.m., and they're raising money for Officer Mike Flamion from Baldwin Police Department, who was recently shot and grievously injured. And they're raising money to try and support his family through this really terrible time.
Mr. Gibbons, I saw that he had a great send-off. He was going someplace out of state to be treated. How's his condition?
Well, I think it's really, really serious. I think it's going to be a very tough road for him. And, you know, so my wife and her fellow officers at the department, they know what that family's going through, or they know it's probably the worst time ever. And so they're giving out blue porch light bulbs, blue ribbons. They've got popcorn and soda and balloons and stuff for the kids. And they're asking people to come, make a donation, and get a blue light that you can put out on your front porch and show your support for the men and women of law enforcement. They're right next door to the fire department. I think the fire department's going to be out there with a truck, and just fun stuff for the kids. But most importantly, for people to come out and let the men and women of law enforcement know that you back them and that you want to help them support the family of Officer Mike Flamion in this terrible time for them.
You know, Mr. Gibbons, I'd like to donate about $250 out of honor of all the great police officers and law enforcement. And people don't forget that even though the state's attorney is an elected position, It's a law enforcement position, and I want to salute you, Mr. Gibbons, because most states' attorneys wouldn't take the time to have somebody in the police department call, but we are supportive, and we're going to talk about it, and that's going to be when again, Mr. Gibbons?
It is this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 at the Granite City Police Department.
1 to 3, and you're taking donations, and all the donations, and you guys aren't like some of the other, not your organization, but these charitable organizations. 95% of your donation goes to administrative costs. I guess with you guys, all the costs are going back.
The 100% of what people is taken in is going to be given directly in a check to Officer Flaman's wife. So they're going to, the police union is going to receive the donations and write her a check for 100%. I'll tell you what, we've gotten great donations from a lot of local companies, given those blue light bulbs, given the other supplies, the ribbons. It's been tremendous, the kind of support from the community, and your donation is amazing and really greatly appreciated. I know his family will appreciate it. Well,
I'll have a check up there today, Mr. Gibbons, out of respect for law enforcement, which you're part of. And again, I want to thank you, Mr. Tom Gibbons, Madison County State's Attorney. And I play politics. If I think somebody's right, Tom, I say they're right. If I think they're wrong. But I tell you, I don't know you personally. I think I've met you one time. And I know you're a Democrat. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm more of a libertarian. I want the government out of my life unless I need them. But having said that, I really believe you're a stand-up man. I think the people, unless you prove us wrong, and up to now, I think you've got a lot more positive going forward than negative. I want to thank you for being a stand-up. I'm going to call you, and I'm going to give you the best compliment I can, a public servant for the good people of Madison County, not a politician. So, Mr. Tom Gibbons, thank you very much. We'll get a check up there to Granite City Police Department, and if any time that we can do anything to help out Madison County, help out the good people of Madison County, please give us a call. And again, thanks for your transparency, and thanks for being a stand-up man.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Mr. Tom Gibbons, Madison County State's Attorney, thank you very much. Now, see, there's a gentleman, and I don't know him personally, and I give him all kind of hell on the radio. But what did he do? He was a stand-up man. That's the kind of guy I want being my state's attorney. That's the kind of guy I want being my county board chairman. That's the kind of guy I want representing me. And that's the kind of guy I'll be in Springfield. You got to stand for something. You hear the intro to one of my segments. You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. We don't always have to be right. People don't always have to be right. All you got to do is think you're right. All you got to do is believe you're right. And you fight the fight. Sometimes we make mistakes. But I tell you and tell everybody else, the biggest mistake that you can make, that I can make, that anybody can make, is laying on our lazy asses, laying around and doing nothing, laying around when we see something going on that we should address, something going on that we should address, and we don't. Mr. Gibbons, and I have a friend of mine just come in. People like who to make the checks out to. If they can't go to Granite City, who should the people make the checks out to? And an address. I didn't think about that. I think there's an address on our flyer. But all you good people, this gentleman, this officer, this hero is in pretty bad shape, I was told, and Mr. Gibbons kind of confirmed that. And, it's not your family. It's not you. But it's him. It's somebody's family. And we got to think about that. You guys would need the help, would like the help. So I'm going to I'll tell you what, I'm going to donate $250, and I challenge every political person in St. Clair County and every political person in Madison County. Come up with $250. You don't have to take it out of your pocket. Take it out of your campaign money. Because this Granite City policeman, he's got family. He's got family. They need some help. They're not begging for help. It's an honor. It's an honor to give somebody like that help. So let's honor this gentleman, this professional police officer who was out there in Granite City protecting everybody. And if we came through Granite City, we'd get the protection. So let's quit thinking about us all the time and start thinking about the ones, the military, the hardworking men and women throughout this great United States, the first responders, everybody that makes this life a little bit better for us. Let's don't be so selfish. Let's don't be so self-centered. Let's do something for somebody else So at some point in time, maybe, just maybe, they'll be capable and able to do something for us. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We're going to take care of our housekeeping. We've got Roger Cook, Carl Officer. They'll be coming in. You know, they always take time out. I ask them, guys, come in. And you know what we're trying to do? We're trying to flush out the opposition. I would think at some point in time, Calvin Dye, Carl Officer's opponent, and Mark Sweetcakes Kern, Roger Cook's opponent, would come in and defend themselves like men do. So we're going to see what happens. So let's take care of our housekeeping. Once again, Back the Blue, Saturday, August the 6th, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Granite City Police Department, located at 2330 Madison Avenue. Blue porch light bulbs, blue ribbons to be given to all attendees. Says, come join us. We're going to have popcorn, soda, balloons, police officers, squad cars. Get to meet your proud police officers in Granite City. They'll be accepting donations for the light bulbs and ribbons, and we're going to donate $250. We'll be out there, and I challenge every friend and foe of mine. Let's put party politics, let's put any politics beside. Let's become Americans for a while and join together, band together, and take care of our people, our Americans. Anyway, I want to thank Tom Gibbons, State's Attorney for Madison County, who's active with all the police departments up in Granite City, and a transparent gentleman. And I sincerely want to appreciate and tell him I do appreciate, him being transparent and calling up and giving me hell a couple days ago. I like that. That's what men do. When men disagree, men give each other hell. They shake hands and they move on. All the proceeds will go to the officer Mike Flalian from Baldwin, who's in critical condition, I guess, at this point. They're taking him out. They said he's going to have lifelong medical needs and care. So if you would, make checks payable to the PB and PA unit number 15. All donations, again, you heard State's Attorney for Madison County, Tom Gibbons, say that 100% of the donations go right to the family. And again, we want to thank you guys for that. We'll have some money there, and we hope everybody else puts a little donation in. The Mascoutah Homecoming coming up tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, the 90th annual Mascoutah Homecoming. They have one of the biggest and best homecomings in St. Clair County. Actually, I think it's taken over for the St. Clair County Fair. Going to have big parades both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be held at Chevy Park. And again, I want to apologize. I said Shreve Park, but it's Chevy Park in the great, beautiful town of Mascoutah. Hope everybody can make it out. They're going to have tractor pulls, car shows, going to have food. Going to be a great event for everybody. Homecoming Queen prizes. Kern, are you coming? They're having Homecoming Queen prizes. Maybe you can attend. I don't know if you can be part of the Homecoming Queen.
Where's the dress? Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some in my ostrich balloon? Where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's the dress?
Hey, Kern, what an idiot you are. What an idiot. But anyway, the Mascoutah Homecoming coming up Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. The radio station will be out there. Hope you guys will attend. Also, out there will be the St. Clair County 4-H Project show schedule. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can call 344-4230. And again, I want to thank Tim Evans, Dan Slimmett, and Tori Waller, and all the members of the Booster Club for the great work they've done working with our children, the livestock boosters of St. Clair County. We want to salute you. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook. Please do, KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. You can go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, where you can get all the political cartoons, the satire. It is funny. Got a big old Patty Sprague on there. Got Bob Sprague in his diapers. What a great website or Facebook page. That's Fans of the Grim Reaper. Also, Bob Romanik for state representative, and always remember the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. You can pick up my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock p.m., and now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. I was handed these few other public services. Back the Blue barbecue luncheon coming up Saturday, August the 13th at the Smithton Firehouse in Smithton, Illinois. Barbecue lunch will be served to all police officers and their families. Public's welcome. That's Saturday, August the 13th. And Boy Scout Troop 661, their annual barbecue, will be held Saturday, August the 13th at Overweiss Ice Cream and Dairy Store located at 4590 Telegraph Road in South County. The Boy Scout director, our troop leader, Bob Mentz, thank you very much, from Boy Scout Troop 661. If you guys in South County or out in the South County area, stop by Overweiss Ice Cream and Dairy Store at 4590 Telegraph Road in South County to help out Boy Scout Troop 661. Thank you guys very much. Also, and it's always an honor and a privilege, Marcia, thanks for the information. Biggest indoor yard sale in Collinsville. Be held at 2 halls. You get a table for $10 to sell your items. It'll be held August the 6th from 6 a.m. in the morning to 1 p.m. Reservations required. It's sponsored by the Ladies Auxiliary of the Collinsville American Legion Post 365. If you'd like to get involved with the good people at the American Legion Post 365 out of Collinsville, you can contact Helen at 618-345-2508. And our good friends down in East St. Louis, Law Enforcement Prayer and Appreciation Day. Come join the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church in East St. Louis in honoring our local law enforcement officers and their families, thanking them for protecting our great city. I want to thank Deacon Dwayne Hines and also Reverend Carnell Brown Sr., the pastor at the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, for that information. If you'd like to get involved, need any information, you can contact Deacon Dwayne Hines at 670-1965. On this date, August the 4th, 1693, champagne was invented by Dom Perignon. I wonder where the hell they got that name. On this date, August the 4th, 1790, the first bonds of the United States government was authorized. On this date, August the 4th, 1790, the United States Coast Guard was founded. On this date, August the 4th, 1830, plans for the city of Chicago were laid out. Great date here, August the 4th, 1862, the first federal income tax was collected. On this date, August the 4th, 1922, every telephone in the United States and Canada went dead as AT&T and the Bell system shut down all of its switchboards and switching stations for 1 minute in memory of Alexander Graham Bell. Can't read my own writing. On this date, August the 4th, 1972, Arthur Bremer was jailed for shooting Governor George Wallace of Alabama. On this date, August the 4th, 1977, the Department of Energy was created by Jimmy Carter. That's what happened on this date, August the 4th, throughout all these years in our world's history. We're going to take a quick break momentarily. Roger Cook has just pulled up. Carl's on his way. I'm going to start talking some heavy politics. Election's coming up in less than 100 days, and it's going to get nasty. And I got to say, the hell with the Democratic Party, the hell with the Republican Party. I'm for the proud Democratic people, the proud Republican people, the rank and file. I don't give a damn. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. The only reason we got involved in this political crap is because nobody would step forward. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is a patriotic movement, people. It's not about Democrats. It's not about Republicans. It's about Americans. We all going to have to unite together. The patriotic movement of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. Yes, we're on the ballot because nobody else. We weren't going to let the Democrats just walk in again. That's been the problem in St. Clair County for 30, 40, 50 years, people, and we're not going to put up with it. And, you know, I talk bad about the Democrats because they're in power. If the Republicans would have been in power, I'd talk about the Republicans. And I have to say on that note, Governor Rauner is a Republican. Congressman Bost is a Republican. And so is Doug Jamieson, the leader of the St. Clair County Republican Organization. You guys have heard me time and time again. Go to the Madison County, go to the Sangamon County in Springfield, Illinois. Go to their website, their circuit clerk's website. This gentleman been charged with domestic violence, owed $100,000 in back child support. The court order made him pay $100,000. He had a couple DUIs. Now I've got the Mothers Against Drunk Driving have called us. They're livid. I've got the people from the domestic violence groups. They're livid. And I know each and every father and mother out there that love their children and support their children, they're living over $100,000 in back child support. Congressman Bost, Governor Rauner, I ask you, you guys are decent people. Why haven't you admonished this no-good son of a bitch? He's part of your organization. He's part of the Republican organization. He's not part of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition organization. He's the leader, people, of the St. Clair County Republican Party. And Governor Rauner, Congressman Bost, I know you guys are decent. I know you guys are not supportive of Doug Jamieson. But the problem is I haven't heard anybody say they're not supportive. People are tired. Congressman Bost, they're talking about picking your office. Now, that's not right. They shouldn't do that. But they're pissed. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, they're pissed. The people that are victims of domestic violence, they're pissed. Because apparently you guys are condoning Doug Jamieson and his actions. Now, I'm trying to defend you two gentlemen because I don't think, and I know you know, we sent all the information. I know you know his background. I know you know what he's done. Now, you can't help who's for you and who's supporting you, but you can help who you say that you're for, who you're supporting. And at this point in time, both Governor Rauner and Congressman Bost, both of them knowing the situation, they haven't admonished this gentleman. Apparently, they're still supporting. And I have to say to you, Congressman Bost, Governor Rauner, how the hell, if that's true, I say, how the hell can you guys sleep at night supporting someone who owed $100,000 in back child support? And that pisses me off as much if he'd have killed somebody. You have to take care of your children, have to take care of your animals because they're not capable of taking care of themselves. What a asswipe father this son of a bitch is. Then he gets a couple DUIs. He could have killed somebody out there drunk, and he's representing the St. Clair County Republican Party. That's another reason, people. Not anybody but Bob Romanik. That's why I don't want to be part of the St. Clair County Republicans. I would not condone domestic violence on any level. I would not condone drunk driving. And I certainly would not condone somebody owing $100,000 in child support. Now, I come out and say it. Congressman Bost, I hope you come out and say it before the fire gets going. Governor Rauner, I hope you come out and say it before the fire gets going. You guys don't need any more heat. And I'm trying to be beneficial here. And I'm trying to tell the people, I don't think you guys, I know you know his background. I don't think that you're for Doug Jamison, the leader of the St. Clair County Republican Party. But if you don't come out and say you're against him, then apparently you are for him. Now, I know Barb Viviano and Mary Turdman, the elitist of O'Fallon, I know they said they vetted this Doug Jamison and he was okay. Then I say Mary Thurman and Barb Viviano, you're just as bad as Doug Jamison. You're just as bad. Anybody that tolerates that crap is just as bad. And I hope you, Congressman Bost, I hope you, Governor Rauner, I hope you will not only not tolerate it like a decent person, but you would condemn it, publicly condemn it for what this rotten bastard has done. That's what's wrong with this Republican Party in St. Clair County. They get asswipes like this. That's why the decent Republicans, the rank and file, don't want to be involved with the St. Clair County Republican Party. And that's why the decent Democrats, rank and file, don't want to be involved with the Democratic Party. Let's take our government back, people, not our parties. We don't want to be party affiliated. We want to be affiliated as Americans, taking our country back one step at a time. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to again thank Carl Officer, just walked in. Roger Cook pulled up. And I got to say, these guys are friends of mine. They're going to be great. Carl's going to be a great coroner, and Roger Cook's going to be a great St. Clair County board chairman. And Roger's going to be great because he's going to be great. But, I mean, a dead person could be great after Kern. But anyway, Mr. Roger Cook, Mr. Carl Officer, co-chairs of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. Thanks for stopping by, guys. What's going on in your world?
I'd just like to feed off of what I just hear you say about the party politics. That's why Carl and I formed the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. It's not about the party. This election is about we the people bringing government back, honest, open government back to the people. We can make great things happen here in St. Clair County when you make decisions based on what's best for we the people and not a party. And that's a pledge that both Carl and I, as every office candidate, as stated, they're going to go in there and represent what's best for the people. We don't care about being a party power broker or anything like that. All we want to do is bring honest, open government back to we the people. And I, again, let me say this because I haven't got to say this in a while. Thank you for the opportunity to create this Freedom Coalition and speak to people and bring like-minded individuals, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats together so we can bring honest, open government back. And I thank you. Without this radio station, without the opportunity, the voice to speak to the people, it could have never happened.
You know, Roger, and on a side note, Kern's in the paper saying that I'm giving you free. I'm not giving you any free advertisement. You come on, you're transparent, you tell people what you're going to do, the good, bad, and the ugly. Kern won't come on. Kern doesn't have the guts to come on and be transparent. But this guy's going to say that he's going to spend a lot of money. No, he's going to spend a lot of money because you're a good candidate and he's a bad candidate. And I ask you, Roger, rhetorically, of course, because I know you don't know what his thinking is, but this guy's been in politics for over 20 years in St. Clair County. The last 3 terms, 12 years as a St. Clair County board chairman. Why would he need all this advertising out there? Don't you think in 12 years he should have got out and about? People should know who he is, but apparently he hasn't, so he's showing his own hand. He's showing his faults by not being out in the public the last 12 years, yes or no?
Well, let me tell you this. Mark Kern and I are very different.
Where's the dress?
I've worked my entire life from washing dishes to being a janitor to East St. Louis castings of the yard man to a laborer at Grumman Ecosystem, a cop, a detective, homicide investigator, a free agent with the football club. I've worked every day in my life. 15 years in the financial industry, 2 years with a CPA firm. Mark Kern's first job, real job, full-time job, was an elected position as mayor of Belleville. And you know what? Who can best represent the working men and women of this county? Who's the guy that's been working his whole life? Because I grew up without a dad. I didn't inherit money from my dad because my dad wasn't around in my life. I was raised by a single mother. I appreciate hard work and the opportunities this country has given me. Without that, without my mother and without her leadership and the hard work, I wouldn't have got to where I got. So there's a big difference. And I think I appreciate the opportunity to come on your radio show and speak to the people because there are a lot of people out there working hard, and we need to be with them. Roger, I want you one more time on the air. I would ask, would you, on the air, one more time, challenge Mark Kern to a debate, and if he will debate you, I'll be out of town the nights of the debate. He's using me as the shill so he doesn't have to debate you because he knows you'll tear his ass up. Would you one more time on the air challenge Mark Kern to a debate? Absolutely. Chairman Kern, I urge you to be transparent with the people of St. Clair County. I'll debate you anytime, as many times, and where you want to. And that's just so we can give our views and be transparent to the people and give them a clear choice. Speaking of mother and fathers, one of the greatest mothers and fathers of all time, I was fortunate enough to know his mother and father, didn't know his grandparents, but Marion and Mrs. Officer were great people all throughout St. Clair County, helped out the whole community of East St. Louis, just tremendously nice people. And Carl Officer, I got to tell you, your legacy is going to be difficult down the road because I say this with all due respect, you're one hell of a man, but it's going to be hard to fill your daddy's shoes.
Good morning, Buck.
Good morning.
No, I don't even try to fill my dad's shoes or my mom's for that matter. But let me tell you something. I'm very blessed. I receive their blessings and their gifts every single day that I wake up and every night that I go to bed. They've been very instrumental in giving me not only my faith, but giving me life and giving it to me in such a tremendous way. I'm going to take a moment, if I can, and thank the good folks down in Smithton. You and I and Dallas and Roger went down to Hyvac. Hyvac the other day. Boy, we met some really nice men and women. And what was so encouraging is we saw men who've been on the job 43 years, 35 years. These are men and working in St. Clair County, a manufacturing plant, getting most of their work now out of Indiana because they've devastated the steel mills in Granite City. And you don't hear anybody from the St. Clair County government trying to assist men and women like this.
There's not enough votes for them down there.
Well, with economic development dollars, you look at the kind of money that they're throwing. Both Roger and I have been mayors before. We understand how you put money into projects. They're throwing money away with people who will give them money underneath the table and around the corner and everything else instead of helping the men and women who grow and live and pay taxes and raise their kids here. But I just wanted to salute those persons. But I wanted to take 30 seconds and tell you this, Bob. I kind of echo what Roger's saying. When we got this idea about forming the Freedom Coalition, it had nothing to do with politics. It had everything to do with service. I sat in the church last night in East St. Louis in the South End, the Greater Liberty Church of God in Christ, with a room full of women and men and children who have nothing to look forward to from their local government. They asked me some questions about the national election. And I'm here to tell everybody the biggest thing that you can do is vote this November, it really won't make a whole bunch of difference who sits on the Supreme Court, who sits in Springfield, as you well know, Bob. But you got a choice and you got a chance to touch who's going to be the judge in St. Clair County that will hear your case. You'll probably never get to the Supreme Court. You'll probably never get to the White House. You'll probably never get to Congress. You'll probably never get to Springfield. But you can get to Belleville. You can make a difference who raises your taxes, who hears your hearings, people like Ed Cockrell and others. I urge you, get involved with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. This is the time when politics makes a difference in your life. Let these folks argue about Trump and about Clinton and about the libertarian candidates. You may not ever see them, but you can see Roger Cook. You can see Carl Officer. You can see Bob Romanik. And we will stop and talk, and we will fight for you every single day. St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, not Democratic Party, not Republican Party, Freedom Coalition. If you think you're free and you live in St. Clair County, you already belong, and we need your help.
Mr. Carl Officer, Mr. Roger Cook, co-chairs of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. You guys are always welcome in, as are your opponents always welcome in. And Carl, the note was right. It's with these rotten, no-count, good-for-nothing, ass-white politicians, it's always about how many votes they can get. It's not how they can impact the lives positively of their constituents. So Smithton area, these smaller areas, they can't get a lot of votes for the Democrats in St. Clair County, so they're forgotten about. I will tell you, and I know you guys feel the same, if I'm elected, I don't give a damn if you're a Democrat, Republican. I don't give a damn if you didn't vote for me and you tell me you didn't vote for me. If it's something positive for our community, my district, I will fight for you as hard as I'd fight for somebody that did support me. We got to go. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a safe one. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll continue our journey. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. We've taken that single step and many more, and we're going to continue till November the 8th to try to educate you good people, men, women, black, white, Democrats, and Republicans, educate you people to vote the person, not the party. Let's destroy party politics. Let's take it back to the people. Let's give our government back to the people, not the politicians. And we can continue to do that by uniting men, women, black, white, Democrats, Republicans, uniting Americans, continuing to expose these rotten ass-white bastards for the dastardly deeds, the corrupt deeds, the criminal deeds that they do, representing us day in and day out. And when it's all said and done, you know the routine, because it's an everyday routine. You got to brush your teeth. You got to wipe your butt after you crap. And we got to destroy these no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy, rotten, low-life, bottom-feeding, political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians. We have to destroy them. Politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm.